So my camera that I was wearing on my face died, and I don't know where I left off, but pump's out. I had to use a steering wheel puller to push the pump out of the gear. It hung up a little bit on the insulation there, so keep an eye out for that insulation folding and catching it. But now most of the panel's uncovered. I have to take the Allen screw out of this, and then that'll back that out, pull the 3 bolts to hold this off. Probably got to remove that bracket. All right, yeah, so got to remove a lift pump. I'm just going to leave the lines hooked up, take a bracket loose, set it to the side. If it's in my way. If it's not in my way, I'll leave it. I'm probably just going to work around this line, so I don't feel like taking it loose. But yeah, after that, cover should come off, and then I'll be putting my new billet aluminum cover in. All right, so you can see where all the oil is leaking out of the bottom, and really, if you look really closely, you can see the gasket's cracked out of hell. Or something that's there is cracked. I think it's the outer lip of the gasket we're seeing. But I did not have to take the connector off the computer. You just take 3 bolts out. You do have to pull the bolt on this clamp here. Bolt's right there. Yeah. Take that bolt out, that way the wiring harness will drop right away, so you can get that bolt on the bottom. But doesn't look like I got to remove the lift pump either. So now I'm going to pull the bolts to get the insulation off of that, and then pull all the tins that go down the center and yank that out. I've got all the bolts out, hands loose. I just gotta somehow fish it out of here. Where am I hidden? You gotta kick the bottom out because it catches the bell housing. Yeah, I'd say there wasn't no gasket problems, huh? Crack. 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 Yeehaw. A real man will just run it without the cover. This here is the cover that I'm replacing it with. And this is what it looks like. Pretty sure this is the bottom. This goes near where the fuel pump is, and that all goes to the rear. O-rings around every screw hole, and then there's an O-ring gasket here. And if you look, there's a seam right there. There you go. Seam. So make sure wherever that seam's at, it's up high, so gravity doesn't screw you and cause a leak. Just something to note, that comes with these 2 holes, and this is supposed to be like some oil catch can hookup. I haven't put no effort into researching that. I had no intention of adding anything else to this, so the old one, has no vents. I mean, those are all bolt holes, so if that can be fully sealed, so can this one. Meaning I'm going to plug it. I want to get plugs for those. I'm not using those. So it took a little finagling. I didn't have to do any of the grinding. It said may be possible on whatever your model. Don't know what you're talking about, but there's an issue. These bolt holes here, originally I had these in it, which had the threaded in on the end, so that the computer could actually bolt to it. Now that thread there is not long enough to reach through the aluminum to even grab a thread. So that's the only hole that's open. The one on the back side, I put a bolt through it already, one of the Allen bolts. So everything's tight, it's just this one missing. I'm gonna find a longer bolt and put some shims between it just to hold it upright and tighten it down. It's pretty rugged computer, so I don't think it's gonna hurt it. But cover fits great. Feels real solid. Better never leak again, or else I gotta warranty it. Ugh. I tried to get the pump in, and the bottom bracket of the pump, the one that bolts to that, you can see where it's hitting there. Pump was at an angle, it wouldn't go all the way up, so that must be the thing they're talking about. You got to modify. So it's nothing more than a support bracket. So I'm going to take this bolt out. If you look, it scratched the metal itself, so actually the bracket's in the way. The bolt probably would be too. I'm gonna take the bolt and this one stand out, leave that one, and then I'm just gonna 45 that out. All right, I do not have time for clearance issues. So that's about where the video ends. Fortunately, I didn't record anymore. I had to hurry up and finish the job. But that's pretty much the gist of it. Put the pump back on, reassemble everything. If you got that far, you should already be capable of putting it back together. You'll have a clearance issue with that bracket that I cut, and I know I didn't 45 it. I just trimmed the edge off. Executive decision I made after making a statement on the camera. Sorry I didn't start the video in the beginning. Sorry it ended terribly, but should be enough information to let you know what you're going to encounter doing this job. I do recommend using the billet replacement cover and not a factory tin cover because they warp, and typically if the gasket doesn't break itself, the whole cover itself tends to warp from heat because it's so thin. So the billet aluminum is the way to go. I did choose to leave that screw in the bracket of the pump just for stability issues, because with just the one screw it didn't want to really stay rigid, and I was afraid that it would have wound up cracking the screw hole from vibration because it is a diesel. But hope you enjoyed the video and it helped you do anything you're trying to do on it related to the tappet cover. Please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.